Jungkook searches for Jimin at Incheon International Airport. What really happened? Why was Jungkook looking back so many times? The airport clip that shook the entire fandom, he stopped. Not because someone called him, not because there was an issue, not even because of the crowd pressing around him, but because something was missing. At Incheon International Airport, July 11th, 2025, Jungkook, BTS's golden magne, global icon, and a man trained for composure, halted in his tracks and looked back. Once, then again, and once more, each time slower than the last. His body, usually confident and fluid, stiffened momentarily. The entire arrival hall was brimming with noise, flashes, security instructions, fans shouting his name. But he wasn't looking at them. He was looking for someone, and fans knew immediately who that someone was. Jimin. Why was Jungkook searching the crowd like he expected someone to emerge from it? Why did he appear restless in a place he had passed through hundreds of times without incident? And more importantly, why was Jimin nowhere to be seen, despite reports confirming his arrival within minutes of Jungkook's? The moment Jungkook set foot outside the customs area, the atmosphere shifted. Observers noted the change instantly. He wasn't smiling. He wasn't rushing. He wasn't greeting fans or bowing to the press. He was scanning, not just glancing, but searching. Deeply. Purposefully. With an urgency disguised as calm. And with each turn of his head, with each lingering gaze over his shoulder, the tension mounted. Something wasn't right. Someone was missing. This wasn't speculation. This was visible. Reports quickly confirmed that Jimin, who had also been in Los Angeles just days earlier, was scheduled to land back in Seoul around the same time. Different airline, different terminal, but close enough to intersect. Coincidence? Or deliberate planning gone wrong? The clip that triggered the firestorm, now viral with over 30 million views across social media, shows Jungkook mid-step, pausing, subtly shifting his weight to glance back behind the glass doors separating arrivals from the world. His lips moved, but the words were too soft to catch. No microphone caught them. No subtitles could decode them. But the body language said everything. He wasn't just leaving an airport. He was leaving behind an unanswered question. Why wasn't Jimin there? Theories exploded online within minutes. Was it a missed connection? A delayed exit? Was Jimin avoiding him? Or being kept away? Was this another silent episode in the complex, layered, increasingly cryptic dynamic between the two? Because this wasn't the first time. Fans began tracing the pattern backward. Missed overlaps, carefully timed yet publicly distant appearances, invisible dinners rumored to have taken place, but never confirmed by photos. Live streams filled with cryptic pauses. Lyrics hinting at regrets. And now, a silence so loud it became deafening. At the airport, Jungkook's posture told a different story than the PR-friendly image usually projected. This was a man not distracted, but disrupted. He stopped before entering his car. He tilted his head, again, toward the terminal behind him. He waited, just a beat, as if giving someone one last chance to appear. And then, a micro-expression captured only by a single camera. Disappointment. Not confusion. Not frustration. But quiet, unmistakable, heartbreaking disappointment. It wasn't the first time Jungkook had looked for Jimin. But this time, he did it in front of thousands. People around him moved professionally. Managers, security, airport staff. But none of them mattered in that moment. The only presence Jungkook seemed to be anticipating wasn't there. And for fans who followed the arc of his relationship with Jimin, the closeness, the synchronized energy, the emotional dependence revealed in unscripted moments, this absence felt profound. It felt intentional. What exactly happened? Why did Jimin not meet Jungkook? Was it logistical? Was it emotional? Was it political? Because from the outside, it seemed meticulously separated. Jimin arrived, but no fan saw him. No footage, no flashes, no confirmation. Only silence. he might as well have been a ghost. And that's what makes this moment so haunting. While Jungkook's steps were public, Jimin's exit was invisible. The fandom, especially on platforms like Twitter and TikTok, exploded into speculation. Some pointed to possible scheduling mishaps. Others suggested intentional separation, either by choice or by external influence. But the most repeated theory, the one no one could disprove, was simple and painful. Jungkook thought Jimin would be there. And he wasn't. Insiders have long hinted that their connection runs deeper than what is shown. Moments shared in behind-the-scenes clips, quiet support in interviews, and unexplained lyrics from both artists have painted a complicated emotional history. But recent months have been particularly quiet. Too quiet. Post-military. Fans expected more visibility, more collaboration. Instead, they got synchronized absences and the kind of public silence that feels anything but accidental. And now, with both men returning to Seoul at nearly the same time, that silence finally cracked. Not because of a statement, but because of a glance. And that is what made this moment resonate across the world. Because Jungkook didn't smile. He didn't fake joy. He didn't cover his emotions. He let it show, just for a second. But in the era of fan cams, a second is all it takes. One look over his shoulder. One visible breath held too long. One shift in his eyes before the car door closed. And in that moment, fans saw it all. Not drama. Not confirmation. But absence. Oh, now the questions grow louder. Why was Jimin absent from the footage? Why did Jungkook appear to be waiting? What stopped them from meeting? Was it circumstance or decision? Did they plan to meet and someone changed their mind? Was there a conversation that never happened? A message left unread? And most painfully, was one of them waiting while the other was already gone? Jungkook has always been composed in public. But there was no composure in that moment. Just stillness. Just emptiness. The kind you feel when someone you expected, someone whose presence feels like air, isn't there. And maybe it wasn't just about this one moment. Maybe it was about everything they haven't said. Everything they've left hanging. All the almost meetings, almost conversations, almost reunions that never quite happened. And now, the airport clip stands as a symbol of timing gone wrong, of something unfinished, of a question asked with the eyes, but left unanswered. The video ends with Jungkook entering the car. Alone. Doors closing with a soft thud. Not dramatic. Just final. And then silence. No words. No gestures. No trace of the reunion fans were hoping for. Just the heavy knowledge that he had waited. That he had looked, and no one came. Oh, where does that leave us now? Was Jimin watching from afar? Will he see the video? Will he recognize the look Jungkook gave the crowd? Not to fans, not to cameras, but to the empty space beside him? Will he respond? Or will this moment go down as another missed connection in a growing series of nearlys and could-haves? Fans have already dissected every frame, every movement, every blink. And what they see isn't an accident. They see a story unfolding in silence, a story that doesn't need words to be understood. Because love, history, regret, they don't need sound. They just need a look, a pause, a breath before the car door closes. And in Jungkook's final glance, just before he disappeared from view, we saw everything. Not because he told us, but because he couldn't hide it. And now, there's only one question left. Will Jimin ever look back? Or will this moment, quiet, simple, devastating, be the last time Jungkook ever waits? Because if he stops waiting, it's not just the reunion that ends, it's everything. And now the silence echoes louder. Was Jungkook truly searching for Jimin? Or were we meant to believe he was? In the aftermath of the viral footage showing Jungkook repeatedly turning back at Incheon International Airport, a new question emerges. One far more unsettling than the emotional impact of the scene itself. Was what we saw an authentic moment of longing, disappointment, or emotional vulnerability? Or was it something else entirely? Something manufactured, something curated for public consumption, something strategically released to evoke a calculated reaction? And more importantly, do we, as consumers of media, truly understand the weight of what we believe? The clip has dominated online spaces, triggering emotional breakdowns, speculative analysis, and countless reaction videos. Yet, beneath the storm of opinions and fan theories lies a crucial challenge that demands serious reflection. Are we certain of what we witnessed? Or are we only certain of how it made us feel? The distinction is not only vital, it is the core of responsible media consumption in an age driven by virality. Let us start by confronting the nature of the moment itself. A man glances backward multiple times in a crowded airport. He pauses subtly. He lowers his head. He utters something inaudible. The interpretations that followed, of him searching for Jimin, of an expected reunion gone wrong, of a silent heartbreak, are not based on confirmed facts, but rather emotional inferences. Is it possible that these reactions, while deeply sincere, are not rooted in objective reality? Is it conceivable that the narrative we are all emotionally entangled in has been constructed, not necessarily by the individuals involved, but by our collective desire for a story? Who precisely benefits from this public perception? Is it the artists themselves, or is it the platforms that amplify the content? TikTok edits with somber music, Twitter threads connecting dots between past interviews, and YouTube essays dissecting Jungkook's every micro-expression. These are not neutral observations. They are emotional investments packaged for engagement. But do they bring us closer to the truth, or further away? We must ask, are we participants in a moment of genuine personal revelation, or are we being subtly manipulated into witnessing a scene carefully designed to provoke response, discussion, and visibility? Are we perhaps unknowingly actors in a cycle of manufactured sentiment, where silence is used as a tool more powerful than words? It is essential to recognize that the only source material here is footage captured by bystanders, interpreted and reinterpreted across fragmented platforms. We have no official timeline, no confirmation of intended meetings, no visible evidence of any real-time interaction between Jungkook and Jimin on that day. What we do have is a growing archive of emotional assumptions built on ambiguous gestures, and herein lies the true challenge. The modern consumer must not only interpret what they see, but interrogate why they see it, how they see it, and who decides what is visible. Why was Jimin's arrival entirely undocumented, despite his global status and the certainty of his presence at the same airport? Is the absence itself telling, or is it being retrofitted into a narrative that suits our emotional expectations? Could this be the result of a routine schedule divergence, or has it been inflated into a moment of dramatic tension because it feels like it should be? Are fans inadvertently creating a mythology where perhaps none exists? When Jungkook looked over his shoulder, was it truly for Jimin? Or for a manager? A signal? A security issue? A completely unrelated thought? Is it possible that this entire wave of speculation is, in truth, nothing more than an elaborate misreading of ordinary behavior, amplified by the hunger for meaning? Ask yourself this. If there had been no prior speculation about the nature of their relationship, would you have viewed this footage the same way? Or have our perceptions been permanently colored by the emotional archives we've built from the past? It is not enough to say that this feels real. It is not enough to assume that because something moved us, it must be true. Emotional resonance is not evidence. It is reaction. And reactions, no matter how sincere, do not constitute proof. Let us also consider the digital ecosystems that perpetuate this content. Clips do not go viral by accident. Algorithms amplify what provokes engagement. Emotional moments, particularly those involving well-known figures like Jungkook and Jimin, are weaponized for visibility. Is this ecosystem preserving the truth, or eroding it? Are we learning more about the people involved, or are we simply being fed what keeps us watching? We urge readers to pause and consider. What if this entire narrative of longing, absence, and implied heartbreak is not real? What if it is a collective hallucination born from nostalgia, parasocial connections, and the curated silence of global celebrities? And yet, equally disturbing is the opposite possibility. What if it is real, and no one is willing to say it out loud? What if these small gestures are the only form of communication they are allowed to have under an industry designed to suppress personal truth in favor of professional image? What if we are witnessing something authentic, but stripped of the language it needs to be recognized? So we ask again, and this time more seriously, are you sure you know what you saw? Or did you only see what you were ready to believe? This moment, seemingly fleeting, is not just about two individuals. It is about how we, as a digital audience, navigate truth, emotion, and entertainment. It is about the responsibilities we hold when we turn real people into projections of our desires. It is about the fragility of narrative in a media landscape that rewards drama over accuracy. As we close this examination, we do not offer a conclusion. We offer a challenge. Interrogate everything. Question every frame. Reflect on your own bias. Ask why certain stories gain traction and others vanish. Demand more than feelings. Demand facts. Because if we do not, then moments like these, whether real or imagined, will continue to shape the public consciousness, not as truth, but as spectacle. And if this was spectacle, we must ask, who wrote the script? Was it the media, the fandom, the artists themselves? Or was it all of us? Complicit in a cycle we no longer control, there is one certainty. We must stop taking what we feel as proof of what is real. Only then can we begin to understand the deeper, more complicated, and possibly more painful truth behind moments like these. Until then, let this remain not a statement, but a question. Did Jungkook really wait for Jimin, or did we just want him to?